All right, so y'all, let's see. We're trying to find the limit as x approaches -6 from the left. So we have -6, and it's coming in from the left, of the absolute value of 6 over x plus 6. Okay, so let's see how we can do this. A couple things we can do is we can actually enter this expression into our calculator. I'm going to kind of show you a couple of ways to do this so you can get the idea. So let me clear this out. Let me come here, and let me clear each of those. I don't need them anymore. All right, so let's see. We have absolute value, so math. Where's absolute value? Oh, man. Number, there we go. Absolute value of x minus 6 divided by parentheses x minus 6, right? Or was it plus 6? It actually might have been, it was plus 6. Okay, look at that, no biggie. Plus, okay. So, excuse me, here we go. Okay, so let's enter that in, boom. Let's quit this. Okay, let's go to vars, let's go to y. Let's do this one. So we're approaching -6 from the left, right? So we might want to do numbers like, say, -6.1. Enter, let's see. So I'm coming up with a -1, right? Let's try something like vars, here we go, -6.01, -1, right? So as I'm doing this here, you can kind of see that that's the value that I'm kind of coming up with, right? -6.001, right? It's probably going to give me the same thing, okay? So one thing I can do is, this is one way I can always approach it, right? Okay, so I can do that, and let's get rid of this. So when we kind of evaluated it at those values, that's what we saw. So that's definitely one way to do it. The other way to kind of look at this is if you were to take numbers, like say we wanted to graph this thing, right? So let me do this. Okay. And there's obviously going to be something going on at -6. So -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this was -6. There's something going on here. It looks like our values were going to give me -1, right? So we could do something like, let's come back to the same function. So y vars. Let's evaluate it at, say, -8. Okay. Hey, still coming up with -1. And I'm going to try this one more time. Let's evaluate this at -7. Okay, still coming up with -1. All right, so now let's take values on the other side of -6. So let's evaluate this at, say, -5. Hey, look, we're coming up with 1. And let's evaluate this at, say, -4. And we're also coming up with 1. That tells me is, here's one, is that my graph is going to look something like this. It's going to look something like this, and there's going to be a hole right here, and there's going to be a hole over here, and the graph is going to look, oops, come on, pen, here we go. And the graph is going to look something like that, right? So again, as we're approaching -6 in from the left, we can see that those y values are going to be hitting -1. So a couple of ways you can go about doing it, right? One way we could do it, obviously, was evaluating it, and we did. And then the other thing was, let's take a look at the graph, right? And it was kind of easy to do the graph because, excuse me, we knew that something, pardon, we knew that something funky was going to happen here at -6. So we wanted to know what's happening on the left side of -6 and what's happening on the right side of -6. Okay, so again, just something that you can do to figure out some of these limits. But I'm glad you asked. Y'all got any questions? Definitely let me know, y'all.